Here are a few clips from a ride that Jake and I took a few weeks ago on the CRFs. We had just put the Yoshimura pipe and the Vortex ECU on and wanted to get out and see how it felt. So we took a ride around central West Virginia on some dirt roads, some gravel, some pavement, pretty good mix of surfaces to get a feel for the new setup. We can say for sure that it made a big difference in the way the bike feels. The Vortex ECU really calmed down the twitchy throttle at low speeds that was such a problem with the stock ECU. No longer do you have the start-stop type of throttle response at low speeds. It's now very smooth and much easier to control, so that was a great upgrade. And the power difference with the pipe and ECU combination, I think you get about 8 horsepower, and it is really noticeable. The bike is livelier, it's peppier, it'll stand up easier. It's still not quite like a motocross bike, but it's better than it was for sure, and it's very noticeable. These two mods together really complement each other, and highly recommend them if you have a CRF450L or RL. I think Honda made a few changes to the RL in the 21 model, which made the ECU a little better, but it still needs replaced. It's still much better with the Vortex. We're currently working on a video that will detail the modifications that we've made to the 450L and the 450RL since we bought them in October. We've added quite a few things to them, taken some things away, and so far we're very pleased with everything. So we'll work on putting a video together that will detail all of that as we continue to get them ready for the Trans-America Trail trip this coming summer. We have a few things left to do to them, but we're getting pretty close, so we'll detail all that out in a video here pretty soon. One thing we had not upgraded at the time of this ride was the tires. The tires that come on the bike are fine on pavement and on hard-packed dirt, but anything else they're not very good at all. If you get into any mud or gravel, the tires have very little traction. Really do not like the stock tires at all. So that's something we have now upgraded. We didn't have it in this video, but we do have a video coming out. We actually got those on today and took a ride, and wow, what a difference. We'll detail that also in the coming video.
Oh yeah, looking good.
Water. Sure. In this clip you can get a good idea of what the new Yoshimura pipe sounds like. The stock pipe was pretty quiet. To me it's kind of sounded like a ATV. The Yoshimura much louder, and it actually sounds like a dirt bike now. So you kind of get a feel for that when you ride by the camera here. Here you can see the navigation setup that we're using. What we have is the Kyocera cell phone, and we just bought the phone without a plan, and we're just using the GPS signal on the phone, and we downloaded the Gaia software to the phone, and that's what we're using for our mapping system. And so far it's working really well. It's no issues with the mapping. It's occasionally we'll lose GPS signal and we'll have to stop, but that's only happened a couple of times. One issue we did have, you can see how I have it mounted here. The charger actually hits the handlebar pad occasionally and would get knocked loose. Had a lot of trouble keeping it charging, so to fix that I rotated the phone 90 degrees in the RAM mount, and that fixed the charging problem. But then this huge brake cable that for some reason sticks up so far kept hitting the phone and knocking it out of the RAM mount, so I'd be riding down the road and it would just pop out. That was kind of a problem, so what I did to fix that is move the RAM mount a little bit closer towards me and got it out of the way of the brake cable. So with rotating the phone and moving it a little towards me, it's been working really well. Took it through some rough stuff and no problems. It hasn't fell off. It keeps signal really well, and it's been a good solution so far.
Look at it. Doesn't even look hard on here.
Here's a clip where we set up to do a hill climb, and of course on the GoPro it never looks as steep as it really is. This is actually a pretty steep hill, but it doesn't look very steep in the video. So we came through and recorded the video, but then as soon as we were done and turning around to come back and get the GoPro, a logging truck came through and just almost ran over the GoPro. It came within about an inch of running over the GoPro. So we almost lost our GoPro there. Really glad we didn't. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.